I just want to quickly give a shout at this advanced two-step funnel workshop. Now, a lot of people, if you have gone through any learning with me in the 60 challenge or the Facebook ads for Shopee or the Facebook ads for anything, you have learned my two-step funnel framework. Now, fundamentally, when it comes to two-step funnel framework, it is a Facebook advertising methodology that uses at least 2 advertisements, okay, to reach your audiences. So yeah, at least 2. Now, in all of the learnings that I've actually conducted in the past almost a year now, since August last year, it's all about the simple 2-step funnel framework whereby there are 2 ads running, but it can get really complex. Okay, now what I'm actually trying to say here is that if you have learned through that, you should consider joining the advanced 2-step funnel framework only if you have practiced it. If you have not, okay, you probably want to actually hold your horses, because let me tell you what is going to happen in the 2-step funnel framework now. Okay, for those who do not understand the 2-step funnel framework, you probably will get confused a bit, but you can also go through this. But yeah, I mean, you can actually go to my YouTube channel and search for 2-step funnel framework. There should be quite a number of videos explaining that. But what is advanced 2-step funnel? Let me bring you to this thing. Now, advanced 2-step funnel fundamentally is a technique that runs more than 2 ads simultaneously. As you can see here, this is the first ad where we start getting out. This is more like for the B2B framework, right? So B2B, you want lead gen or something. So the first ad is going to go out and you have a form, right? So when people see this form, either they will submit or they will not submit. So when they submit, good, then you have the end of lead where you can call them and all that. But what if for those who have not submitted, but that they opened the form and whatnot, usually we will have a second ad follow them, tell them, to reinforce the key message and tell them this. But what I'm actually saying here is you are actually able to drip a series of ads. First, it is a series of ads in sequence, meaning that ad 1 would run first, and then ad 2, and then ad 3, and then ad 4. Now, first, you can run a series of ads in sequence, and you can even time how long each and every one of the ads will show to the audience. So let's give you an idea, right? If a person have seen your ad, okay, and did not submit, okay, what in turn that you can do here is, as you can see, I'm actually trying to show you it. First, they will start seeing, immediately they move out from seeing the ad and they come back to Facebook or Instagram, they will start seeing this ad 2-1 for 5 days, on day 1 to day 5. Okay, so this day 1 to day 5, we timed it perfectly. Only for 5 days, you will see this ad. If you take action, you're out. But if you don't take action, I can start showing you this ad 2-2 on day 6 to day 10. It's a very important thing that you need to understand, that I'm actually timing it, meaning that you will see ad 2-1 on day 1 to day 5. And when on day 6 to day 10, you don't see ad 2-1 anymore, and in turn, you'll start seeing 2-2. Okay? And then after that, it will show you on day 6 to 10 for 5 days. If you still don't take action, and I will drip the day ad 2-3 to you for another 5 days, which is on day 11 to 15. Now, what is the benefit of this? You just have to imagine if you're selling something complex, meaning that if you're selling a product that has multiple USP and it's definitely not possible to communicate them in one ad itself. And you have to bear in mind, you have to understand that a lot of people actually, if they keep seeing the same ad, they don't take action, they don't read deeper. So all we can do here with this framework is that you're able to break your complex message into pieces of messages, and you use this to communicate with them. So let's say, for example, if you're a real estate property agent, you have a very awesome project, but it has multiple USP that you want to communicate. Like, for example, one of them is it is next to MRT, for example. And the second one is, it has got 2 car park lots. You see, when you have this so many information, you may not be able to communicate all of them effectively in one key ad or something like that. And even if you can actually argue that people may come over to your landing page and read them, but to be frank, we are that, instant, and we jump from one thing to another very fast. So will you read through a long brochure to really learn what are the things that you have? So if they don't get to know that, hey, you have actually 2 car parks, they may not buy. But if they get to know it, they may be, I mean, the 2 car park at USP may be the main reason they buy. So the key here is when you learn how to do this kind of like advanced 2-step funnel, you can learn how to really like control the whole message. So it's like, first, you can drip them in sequence. And second thing is you can actually time it. So that's the beauty of it. So I have seen a complex, for this kind of B2B, we have run the most complex one was about 10 ads running simultaneously in a journey of 30 days. So each ad would drip for 3 days. And the idea here is that we have a very complex product. I mean, of course, we may not be just selling one product. I can actually use the first 5 ads to communicate product A, and then I will use another next 5 ads to communicate product B. It's possible. So you just want to make sure that those with the intent, you want to actually cook them long enough to make sure that, yeah, but long enough, but not annoying them. You see what I'm actually seeing over here? Meaning that they get the chance to see multiple ads coming from you. And imagine the kind of branding effect. It's crazy. So that's the B2B. But if you are in e-commerce business, I'm just want to give you some heads up. This is a bit more complex. Now, when you have e-commerce, meaning that you may run an ad to drive people to your landing page. Now, when people come to your e-commerce website, okay, there are many possibilities. You get what I mean? They could be visiting multiple products. So if you do not actually, if you know how to play your product catalog, so-called product set management well, you can actually have multiple ads following their exact journey. So let's say, for example, if you have an e-commerce, if you sell apparel, okay, so let's say fashion, right? So when a person come in for t-shirt, you know that this person is really into t-shirt, all right? So you can use this t-shirt advertisement to catalog, maybe follow them for maybe like 3 days, optimize for that particular 3 days. Now, after 3 days, you know, whether they buy or not, right? You probably don't want to keep showing them t-shirt. You want to jump to another one and you want to show them hat. Can you? You can. So this is really like a linking multiple product sets together to build your e-commerce marketing or e-commerce advertising using Facebook and Instagram a lot more interesting. So you want broad audience. The idea here is we don't want to create ad fatigue. We want to run awesome ads consistently following them, but you know, not boring them with the same ad over and over again. But we want to give them freshness. You get what I mean? I can actually, let's say I have 5 categories. Once you come in, I will drip all these 5 categories to you within a period of time without actually boring you with, you know, showing you for too long. So that's the beauty thing, right? So that's what we discuss in the advanced 2-step funnel workshop. So this is what I would do. I will be dissecting the whole thing. I will be telling you that, look, this is how I do the setting. First, you need to do this, which kind of setting, what kind of audience that we need to do. All right, then after that, the ad, how do we drip day 6 to 10? How do we make sure that when on day 6 to 10, the ad 1 to 5 don't show? You know, and how do we all do all this control? I'm going to dissect the whole thing to you, okay? And then for this advanced 2-step funnel workshop, I don't give you choice. You keep the recording, okay? Meaning that after the training, I'll be sending you the recording. You can keep it for live so that you can keep coming back and see how I play with these things, so you can really master this. Because to be frank, let me put this up front, you will make a lot of mistakes the first time you do this. Even 2-step, simple 2-step, people do make mistake. Needless to talk about this complex 2-step, but it's worth learning because it's awesome. Okay, this is really my I would say this is one of the best. I wouldn't say it's the best kept secret. I just didn't have the chance to teach. I've been teaching this for the past few years as a physical class, but I stopped doing it because you know, if you have not gone through the basic 2-step, you probably will find this intimidating. So yeah, but now I think it's time, and I'm bringing this up again. To note, right, I do not know when I will be doing this again. Yeah, I don't do this in a very regular basis because, yeah, it's very interesting, but it's kind of like tiring as well to break down all these things to give you the idea of all this. But yeah, if you're in, I'll see you on Tuesday and Wednesday at 3 p.m. as usual. So this is the link for you to sign up. It's definitely a class worth learning. You won't regret this. This will give you the power and the ability to go and wow your client and say that, hey, I'm able to do this. Do you want this? You can raise your fee. You should raise your fee.